Hi everyone, Chef Leroy here and welcome to my channel. Well guys, I'm going to make an al pastor, okay? I'm actually going to do a chicken al pastor. Commonly you'll see it as pork al pastor, but I'm doing chicken, okay? So it's very simple to do. I will give you that. You're going to need a few different ingredients, okay? So we need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically 7 ingredients. You're going to need a tray, you're going to need a saute pan, and you'll need a blender to do this recipe, all right? So I'll tell you what this is all about. So one of the key ingredients in al pastor, well actually there's a couple different key ingredients. One is pineapple, that's that one really nice flavor to it. The other one is called guajillo peppers, and that's what that is, okay? We're also going to use some achote. This is molito, which means ground achote powder, okay? We are going to use chipotles in adobo sauce, and this happens to be a 7-ounce can. We're going to use some yellow onion, and I diced this, but you're going to blend it, so you don't have to dice it too small. We also have some fresh garlic. I got 2 cloves of fresh garlic, and again, like I said, we got some pineapple. Now, you can use fresh pineapple, but if you don't like pineapple like fresh to eat later on, or you just want to simplify it, I use the chunk can, and this is a 20-ounce can of chunk pineapple, and you want to reserve the liquid for the recipe. And the other thing you're going to need is chicken stock. So let me get the camera over here so I can show you how to put it all together. One of the first things I do when I make my al pastor sauce is I strain out my pineapple, throw it onto a tray, and I'm going to put it into my broiler, on my broiler feature on my toaster oven, okay? I'm going to set it on a high temperature, and I'm going to broil it for 10 minutes to start with. You want this to get nice and browned up, and I'll get that going right now. One of the reasons I like to get that going first is you don't blend things when they're hot. It's not a good idea, okay? All right, now, the thing about this is these peppers here, these are the guajillo peppers, and they're dry. So you have to kind of rehydrate them, right? So that's what we're gonna do with our pan that we have on the stove. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to deal with these guajillos. So you wanna pop off the stem end. Okay, you can keep some of this pepper that's around the outside, and you need to seed these. So you wanna get all the seed out. Guajillos generally have quite a bit of seed in them. So just go ahead and shake it out. Anytime you're working with any kind of peppers though, make sure you wash your hands really well after you've handled them, because even though they don't seem like a very spicy pepper, they can still cause irritation to sensitive areas on your skin. You don't need to chop these up or anything. We're going to blend it, so you don't need to have it too perfect, okay? Just knock all those seeds out of there and set them off to the side. You're going to just discard them. And this is 1 ounce of guajillos. I weigh them out. I weigh them straight up with the seed pod and everything to 1 ounce. And this is what my bag looks like here. There are a number of different ways these come. Most stores carry guajillos. Okay, we've got our hex-clad pan here. I'm gonna set that right here on the board. Take those dried peppers, throw them right in the pan. Go ahead and throw the onion right in there. That's 1 cup of yellow onion. It's about a small onion, just peeled and chopped. You can just chop it, like, you don't need to chop it this fine. Now with the garlic, I will go ahead and just give it a little rough chop. Just nice to get all that garlic flavor into this nicely. So I'll go ahead and give it a little bit of a chop, just like so, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and add that reserved pineapple juice right to this pan. I'm going to use 12 ounces of chicken broth. Okay? Chicken broth and chicken stock are a little bit different. Chicken broth is usually a refined broth that you can literally drink straight up as a meal. Stock is generally not quite as fortified. Okay, so 1.5 cups. Now with this, we can get it right on the stove and begin to heat it up because we want the guajillos to rehydrate. We're going to get them soft, and then we're going to blend this together. We're going to blend it with our 7-ounce can of chipotles and adobo, and I need 2 teaspoons of achote molido, which molido just means ground, okay? So let's get this on the stove and I'll show you how to get everything working. Okay, go ahead and turn your pan on high. Got tongs right here, just move it around. Now you don't have to put the chipotles in here because the chipotles are already soft, so that's not necessary. And the pineapple you don't really have to right off either because you're basically broiling that to get it browned up nicely. Go ahead and let that come up to a boil and we're just gonna simmer it until those guajillos get tender. Okay, one thing about the Hexaclad pan is it heats up fast, so let's go ahead and get that. It's already up to a boil, so we're gonna drop that temperature down, medium. So we don't want the liquid to evaporate too much. We're gonna let it cook down a little bit. We don't want too much evaporation. Timer just went off for my toaster oven. Pull the pan out, and what you want to do is move it around a little bit, and you can see it's not really browned up at all much. So we'll go ahead and put it in for another 10 minutes on high. Okay, my timer just went off for the toaster oven here. I'll show you what that pineapple looks like now. See, you got a little more brown in there. Looks lovely. And guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and put it in for another 10. Mix it up a little bit, so that'll be 30 minutes of cook time. So I didn't write that down in my original recipe, so there you go. Now it's there, okay? But I would say what you should do if you're gonna do it on high in your broiler, just everybody's broiler is a little bit different. If you did it for the 30 minutes, I would make sure that you pull it in 15 minutes and move it around, and then go ahead and cook it for the additional 15 minutes. This is looking great. The peppers are getting softer. All right, just let it cook. All right, my timer is going off for my toaster oven. I'll go ahead and pull that pan out of there. And at this point, I'm gonna shut my stove off as well. So I had this on a medium heat, and you can see the evaporation of the liquid. It's perfect, just like that, okay? Now, every stove is a little bit different. So if you're cooking too hard and you don't have much liquid left in here, you want to be careful with that. All right, from about start to finish in the pan, it took about 30 minutes to get to this point. And now, let's take a look at that pineapple. That looks lovely. So go ahead and just throw that right in the pan with your peppers, garlic, and onion, and your stock. I don't have any liquid on this pan. If you did have liquid, just whatever, put the whole thing in there, okay? Just give it a little stir in there. Now, what we have to do is what? Well, we have to let it cool down because you can't blend something when it's this hot, right? So go ahead and just let this cool down, but that looks fantastic. So let's go back over to my cutting board here. I'm gonna show you how to get that blender set up. I've got my blender set up, got it plugged in. I've used the Beast. This is my blender here. So let's go ahead and add our chipotles and our achote powder to the blender. Again, that's 2 teaspoons of the achote powder. So everything's in there, and now we just wait for our other ingredients to cool down, put everything into the blender together, and we're going to blend it. All right, now I've got everything cooled down in the pan. We're gonna go ahead and add it to the blender bottle, and we're gonna give it a nice blend. Blade on, take it down. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on the blender base here. And I'm gonna pulse it a little bit. Just to kind of move that product off the bottom, because that bottom was with the chipotles and that ancho powder. And let it blend. All right, we are done blending. I'll mix that up a little bit. Ooh, it smells so good. It should look very paste-like, which it is. Show you that right there. See, it's got a good kick to it too because of that chipotle. Chipotles really give it some fire. It's so good. It has that really nice pineapple taste to it. All right, now that my sauce is blended, I'd like to do a little bit of a yield test. I actually got 3 cups out of the recipe. All right, with 3 cups of this sauce, you can cook up to 5 pounds of meat. All right, so I used about 2 pounds of chicken breast when I did my recipe here, and I sous vide my chicken. I used about a cup of this product with my chicken. Okay, guys. Well, if you guys liked the video, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed up to this point. Again, subscriptions are free to join. They just let you know when I drop a video out there. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy, and out. All right, as promised, I would show you a finished product. So this is my sous vide chicken. So I tossed my sauce in with my chicken, mixed it in a bowl, put it into bags and in the pot, and there we go.